O meu nome é Maria Olivia.
My name is Maria Olivia. I am a businesswoman. I had a little complicated childhood. I lost my mom when I was very small, and I had an opportunity to get to know a congregation of nuns, and I stayed for 10 years. When I left, because I wanted to search for a new life to me, and I met my husband.
Meu nome é Antônio Tavares de Almeida,
My name is Antônio Tavares de Almeida. I am a businessman. Before I met Maria Olivia, I was a widower. I had 5 children, 3 girls that was tripled, and they had 5 years old. And my mother came from Paraná and took all of them together with her, and I was left alone. So I was lost, alone, without nobody. The house was empty, used to be full. I started to drink a lot, party, feeling anguish and fight.
Thought my life was going really to change. Wow, now I'm gonna get married, I will have a family, but it was the opposite because my marriage wasn't good. My marriage, I had situations of betrayal from my husband's side.
I continued drink. The old friendships came back when I was alone. Now they came back, and then the life started to fight, drinking, and it was very, very difficult.
And I was seeking and seeking, and I ended up in a witchcraft house. And I thought, now I will break through, everything will work out. It was my life's collapse. More and more, my husband wanted to be away from me. He was trading me for lovers, drinks. Was when he became a alcoholic man.
I used to shout and swear at her, shut the door and go to the street. Sometimes I would break things and go out nervous.
At that time, I had 2 children with my husband. And the child was under my care. And the negative thoughts was in my head like, God, we will manage to raise my kids. What is going to happen with my life? And one night, coming back from one of these witchcraft houses that I was seeking that happiness, I put on the TV, and lucky me, God blessing me, I turned on Universal Church channel, where the pastor was talking like he was talking to me. Look, you that are there going through this problem and that problem, there is a solution for you. And that took my attention. For me to have a solution, how? When? When I heard that, I thought, what doesn't have this church here? But even though I went out to look for it, and I did. And in the next morning, I saw a banner, Stop Suffering. And arriving there, the pastor received me with a lot of love, a lot of kindness, with a huge smile on his face. And he said, look, I don't know which problem you have, but here I have an envelope. We are having a very powerful campaign of Israel. I didn't understand anything. Holy campaign? A fire? We imagined a lot of fire. What is it? I wanted to know. Maybe it was by curiosity. I went the way I was. I didn't understand much, values, how I was, but I understood. If I would open my heart, God was going to listen to me. And by wanting to receive the Holy Spirit inside of me was when I had the assurance that God really could change my life, taking my family to be blessed, and for me to conquer blessed business. And I did my first campaign of Israel.
E fiz a minha primeira fogueira santa de Israel.
And from that moment that I received the Holy Spirit, I had assurance that I was protected, that I was capable to conquer.
Eu comecei a ver mudanças nela, né?
I started to see changes in her. I would fight with her, she would not fight back. The house was organized, I could see differences. And she was always inviting me. The first time I went, it was nice, I liked the word. Although I did not let it to get inside of me. But I went the next Sunday, and then the other one I said, it's too early, I don't go.
Através da campanha,
Through the campaign of Israel, I had the idea of coming up with a dry cleaner, and I would go to the altar with no fear. But sometimes I found impediment at home. But I wasn't afraid of the impediment no longer. I had an assurance that God was going to honor me.
I would not accept to make the campaigns. I wouldn't accept. And about the tithe, I would give sometimes. I was not faithful. I wouldn't give back the tithe. And I would be very angry at her when she would go and do it. She was doing her purpose, giving back the tithe. I thought that was going to lack to us, I would say to her.
One campaign of Israel, I had a desire to go to the bank to ask for brand new notes to put inside of an envelope. And I put that new notes inside of the envelope with perfume. And my husband, seeing that, he said, "That's wrong. I need this money to pay this, to pay taxes." And at that campaign, we went down the altar, fighting a lot. We went home fighting. It was a very difficult situation.
She was faithful, yes. And I tried to keep a company for me, one for her, two separated business. Her ones was going well. Her business, she started small, was already having many employees. She was doing everything by herself, many employees. And I got my business. What happened? My business broken. I lost everything I had, and her was prospering. She was prospering always, and but inside of me was lacking for me to believe. But what was in reality I was seeking the church, it was only the financial life. I just want to know about assets, material things. The only way I really understood was after I received the Holy Spirit.
When my husband received the Holy Spirit, and then life was transformed in everything.
I did the campaign, yes, but it was a different campaign. I surrendered indeed, all body, soul, and mind. I didn't look for the money. I looked to myself, my soul, my everything, my being. I went to the altar. I, I wanted a total transformation in my life. I was tired of suffering, to be humiliated,
Se humilhado. E
and
foi
I went
conversando,
to talk to
conversando,
God.
conversando.
And I remember that day, and I even get emotion. I received the Holy Spirit. From that day, everything changed. And then I felt very strong. I was a different person. I was fulfilled.
There, all the blessings was completely open to us.
It was completely different than the other campaigns that wouldn't give result. Even before having the Holy Spirit, I put cars on the altar, but there was no result, and I would come and fight with her and tell her, it's not worth. We gave the car, and what's the point? And after that I had the Holy Spirit was different. The campaign was a completely different campaign. I would go with joy. I would come down from the altar fulfilled, and the others I was angry.
In every area we've been blessed, our child, many doors, our business, many doors was being opening. We have a business that have over 240 employees. It's no longer couch and carpet dry cleaner. In our days, we clean the city.
Today our business is in many cities. We have many trucks that do this work. We didn't have any, and today we have 21 to do the works in the cities.
A minha casa é linda,
My house is beautiful, it's massive,
muito
very comfortable.
confortável e muito mais
More that I ask God for, a lot of peace. Day by day, our life, it's a honeymoon.
continuar assim.
We'll keep like this forever.
The altar means everything for me. It is my life.
If I wouldn't had found the biggest love of my life, that is the Holy Spirit, nothing of this would have had been true.